What's going on, everybody? So I've seen this question come around and I've seen a lot of videos on this, but I figured I'd make my own video with my own opinion on it. So I got 3 tool truck brand ratchets here in my hand, and the question is, will these ratchets make me a better mechanic? And my opinion on that. So in my right hand here, I got 3 American-made ratchets from Snap-on, Mac, and Matco. And then in my left hand here, I got 3 Taiwan ratchets, Craftsman, Gear Wrench, and Icon. Whether I pick up any one of these ratchets, will I perform better in the long run or short term? So those are questions that we always want to discuss. So my daily drive ratchets are the Snap-on flex head and this Icon flex head. In the garage I use primarily the Snap-on, and then out in mobile work I use the Icon. And y'all have seen those in my other videos that I've posted as well. So as far as choosing and selecting a ratchet, for me over the years, it's all by choice. Okay, so it was my choice to buy this Snap-on ratchet for X amount of money. And going off the tool truck prices, you're going to spend at least probably about close to 150 range and possibly up. Okay, and then as far as the Icon, again, I've made other videos about it. You're looking at about the $50 range, depending on sale prices, coupons. So now as far as my opinion on which ratchets to choose, which ones I would prefer, honestly, it goes with any tools. Budget is key. Okay, whether you're a mechanic, whether you're a DIYer, weekend warrior, whatever the case is, you've got to consider your budget and then your preference. Your preference may be a Snap-on ratchet just because you want to have a Snap-on. But if your budget only allows X amount of money and this doesn't fit into it, what ends up happening, along with, majority of techs, new techs, I wouldn't say seasoned techs, there's a big difference, is you end up in tool debt. And that's something that you really want to consider and think about if you want to actually get into tool debt or not. Okay, I didn't have a Snap-on ratchet for decades, and all because of budget. That was my primary reason. If you watch back to the beginning of my channel and look at my videos and when I started this, it was more or less of a budget-oriented based channel and tools. Okay, I wanted to kind of dabble into what tools were out there on a budget, whether it was on online purchases or in stores, and that was the thing. I bought mainly all of my tools based on the budget that I had and what I was willing to spend at the time. Because here's the thing, with the automotive industry, it fluctuates in majority of the time. It's not like you're getting a consistent paycheck week to week basis. One week I might be busy, one week I might not have anything rolling in for that week, and I have slow weeks, and that's the same thing for techs out there in the world as well too. Now I don't have a lot of experience in that because I haven't been in that side, but if you look at a lot of the discussions and things that people talk about, that you can get that same consensus. It's just the way you look at being a mechanic and working on cars. Think of it as a business owner, okay, and you're your own sales rep. So the faster you can work on a car, the more you can turn out, the bigger the job that you can sell or do, that's going to determine how much money you make in that week. So those things can fluctuate. The one thing that won't change is the amount of tools you buy and the amount of debt that you put into it. Okay, now specifically, this video is going to be primarily focused around ratchets because to me, the ratchet is the main tool that you'll use on a consistent basis each day. There's other tools. I consider there's primary tools that you'll have to have, but the ratchet is probably the number one thing when it comes to working on cars. Okay, not even getting into power tools. This is kind of like the foundation of things, because when working on cars, it's all pretty much nuts and bolts, right? That's the main thing holding the car together, nuts and bolts. To remove and install nuts and bolts, you have to have some kind of drive tool, which normally is a ratchet. Okay, ratchets and sockets. So, looking at ratchets, when you look at these two ratchets, you have your snap-on here and your icon here. Is there a difference? In quality, you can probably think about yes. In terms of performance, there may be yes. But will it stop me from performing my job if I only have this one? No. Okay. I spend 3 times less in amount of this ratchet, but as far as quality and build and performance, there are differences, but is there a difference between it if I would be able to work on a vehicle right now today if I only had this ratchet? No. Okay, and that's just being honest. Now, I'm sitting here saying this with a snap-on hat and shirt, okay guys? If I only had this icon ratchet, if I only had the budget for this ratchet to spend, I can still go make money. Okay, I can still have a car pull into my garage, do a brake job, you know, do a valve cover job or whatever, and still make money with this ratchet at the end of the day. So, if I said I wanted just a snap-on ratchet to do those jobs, I would be honestly lying to myself because I don't necessarily need this one. Will this one work better? Probably in the long run, but you know, there's always the arguments of everyone saying, oh, well, this one has a better warranty. The snap-on guy's gonna come, you know, warranty my ratchet out weekly or whatever. I don't have a snap-on guy that rolls to my garage, so I can't say that. Now, there's plenty of mechanics out there that have that relationship with their snap-on guy where they consistently come on a weekly basis, or they're on call and they say, hey, my ratchet just broke. Can you come warranty this out real quick? Because, you know, it's my only one. Which is probably not true because, you know, if you're a tool snob, you've got lots of ratchets, okay? That's a whole different discussion. But, you know, some guys don't have that relationship. Some guys may not see their snap-on guy for 2 weeks or a month or whatever the case is. So what are they gonna do? They're gonna just have this ratchet sitting there dusting, not being able to do anything if this was the only ratchet. But what I've learned over the years is that, just like myself, you know, I love working on vehicles, I love tools. I don't just have one ratchet. If this one breaks, I've got plenty of selection to choose from to pick up and continue working. But for guys that are just getting into the industry, you don't have a lot of money to spend, or the guys that just have projects on the weekend or whatever the case is, you only want to buy one ratchet. You have a set budget usually in the very beginning. So which one are you going to choose? It's a discussion that you have to really ask yourself, you know. You see all the time on comments where guys are like, oh, it's Chinese junk, Taiwan junk. It doesn't really matter, guys. Just pick what works for you and where it doesn't affect you outside of this realm, okay? If you're going to be buying a ratchet to work on cars to make money, I would suggest finding something that's durable, that's going to be able to be warranted. So like this icon, you know, it comes with a lifetime warranty at Harbor Freight. It's kind of in the middle of the budget where it's around $50, and it can fluctuate. I mean, with that recent parking lot sale, this thing was down to probably like in the 30s. So that's definitely a good steal right there. You kind of want to just look at all different aspects, and then once you start making money, then you can start progressing into more ratchets or different brands of ratchets and stuff and so on. So, you know, think about what you can do. Now, if you have an unlimited budget, this video is not for you, okay? So this doesn't even apply to you. You can just go buy whatever the heck you want to buy and not even worry about it. But as far as for the guys, this is primarily for the guys that have a budget, that don't have a lot of money to throw into tools yet, or just kind of on that, you know, decision-making thing. Now, for the new techs, my opinion on this matter is see what fits your budget, so that way you're not going into debt in the event that you decide that this isn't for you, okay? Because, and I would say going into it with 1 year with a basic set of tools that will work for you and still allow you to perform your job at the rate that you need to be at. But at the end, let's say at the end of the year, you decide, okay, I love doing what I'm doing. This is for me long term. Then you can start upgrading, and then you can know, okay, if you want to start investing into tool truck brand stuff, then you can decide, okay, do I want to get into debt and go ahead and invest in myself and have this, knowing that this tool is going to be paid off anyways long term, but I'm going to be able to perform my job better because I'm investing in myself. And that's why you have to look at it. You know, the tools, yeah, they make your money, but you yourself as a mechanic are what's going to make the most money, because you're going to be able to, you know, diag stuff. You're going to be able to, you know, work on these vehicles and perform on them on a daily basis at full potential. Okay. But now if after a year you decide, hey, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore, I'm not cut out for it, or, you know, another opportunity in life came up, then you're not out of a lot of money. Okay. And you can still probably sell this, but not for a lot. Now, obviously, you can probably just sell your whole toolbox set or whatever, or take it home and work on your own vehicles. You know, now you have the experience and knowledge. You can just maintain your own vehicles or do side jobs or whatever, and you still have a tool set at home. So that's a good thing. So just think about stuff like that. Now, as far as my personal ratchets and my tool truck ratchets, my main ones that I've kept are this Matco red and black series with the black finish on there, and this was just primarily just for keepsake. I mean, I don't use it. I have used it, but I don't want to use it often because I don't want to screw up the finish. Now with these Matcos, the finish on them, they're not really good in terms of the durability of it, so I didn't want to mess it up. This is just, it looked cool and I wanted it in my toolbox. Okay. The same thing goes for this Snap-on 100 series with the red handle. So this is my actual first Snap-on ratchet that I bought for myself, and it was a treat to myself. I felt very proud that I could buy it, and I think, you know, honestly, if I didn't buy this one, I probably wouldn't have went down the road that I went down. But regardless, when I bought this ratchet, I immediately was able to tell the quality and finish difference in comparison to what I had been using. But again, it was just a treat to myself, and I keep this in my overflow box as a reminder of where I came from. So, you know, I don't use this. Every once in a while I'll pull it out and you know, wrench with it, but other than that, I mean, it's just sentimental to me. So there's that. The Mac ratchet. So Mac Tools makes some pretty good tools. I have a lot of their tools. But as far as this ratchet goes, don't use it on a daily basis. It's just the same thing. I just bought it just to try it out, and it's there now. It's sitting in my daughter's box with her Craftsman stuff, and that's about it. But as far as, you know, the Mac ratchet itself, it's there. The Snap-on 80 series flex head, comfort grip. This is my primary drive. When I work with this on a daily basis, I enjoy using this ratchet. That's all I have to say. Okay, the quality of it, ergonomics of the handle. This is my most favorite thing about this ratchet. Okay, I've used a ton of ratchets. Y'all seen my videos. I've had I would call them mid-grade ratchets, like the Gear Wrench. I've had Die Hard, ton of other stuff that I've used. I've tried Genius ones. I'm pretty sure I'm forgetting other stuff, but y'all can check out the other videos. But this one I enjoy using, not just because it has a Snap-on logo on it, but it's just, you know, when you're taking off a bolt with this thing and you're just looking at it, watching it, it just, you know, it hits you differently. Okay, but if I were to pick up this ratchet here, sorry, so this is a 90 tooth. A little bit louder, you know. The grip on it's a little bit smaller. Still robust ratchet itself. But the quality and the weight difference, you just feel it differently in your hand. Now the 120 XPs, I need to go pull that one out. But again, overall, I'd still be able to wrench with this. There's no problem with that. So, you know. And then here's the ones that we've all been talking about lately, the Craftsman ratchets. A work in progress. I don't know if they'll ever improve these down long term, but again, you know, if I were to wrench with this one, there would be no issues with that. Price wise, I mean, they're going down now in the market, but in terms of when they first came out, they were pretty up there, probably in the 60s or 70s. Still a good ratchet. I don't know how well they would perform long term, so I couldn't answer you on that. But here's the thing, guys. Ratchets are wear and tear items, okay? That's why they come with warranties on them, like I said. So find something with the warranty so that way if it wears out, if it breaks, you can go warranty it. If you go buy a Harbor Freight one, and here's the thing, Harbor Freight Icon, it's Taiwan. Taiwan's a totally different country than China, okay? There's reasons why we do business with Taiwan and why we have political stuff with Taiwan as opposed to China or whatever. So that's not part of this. But Pittsburgh, then you can start getting into the China stuff, okay? And I will say this. I started off with Pittsburgh tools when I first went on my own, when I first moved out, and I was working on cars on the side, and that's what I could afford. I had a set of Pittsburgh tools. I had a set of Stanley Walmart socket and ratchets that I had kept in my truck. So those are things that you just have to, you know, really consider. That's what I could afford. The Snap-on and all that stuff wasn't even in my brain at the time, okay? Regardless of, you know, my dad at the time when I was wrenching with him and working with his tools, he had Mac tools. When I first got onto my own, I didn't even think about stuff like that. I just wanted a set of tools that I can work with and still do the job. And that's what I had. That's what I had the money for. I didn't even think about getting into tool debt or whatever the case was. So if you're out there looking at the guy next to you that's been working for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, and you know, you see his massive tool collection and his massive toolbox and how it's shiny and how he loves Snap-on and, you know, all the other stuff, don't follow that. You know, you're getting into this trade for yourself to make money for yourself and your family and provide a living. Now, like I said, if you don't have to worry about that, then this isn't a video for you. But if you are in that same boat, you know, be really considerate of yourself, of what you're getting into, okay? Because this industry doesn't necessarily, like, if you go work for somebody, they're not paying for your tools. You are. So what you get into is all on you. So again, just think about what's available out there, the options, regardless of who produces the product. Now, if you're going to buy a ratchet set off of Temu, my blessings to you and good luck, because I don't know what's going to happen at that point. You're just donating money, your money to that person, that company at this point. But if you're going to go out there and find a decent, reputable brand, you know, there's plenty of options out there, guys. And you know, don't downplay them just because they're not a tool truck brand. So, hope this video helps in the thought process of what you're doing in terms of what you're going to buy. As far as ratchets go, you know, same thing. I'm going to hold them all up here for you. You know, any of these will work for you, regardless. At the end of the day, any of these ratchets are able to be warranted. No issues with that. And if you want to buy a Chinese version of one like this Craftsman one right here, this will work too. Okay, you can take it down to Lowe's if it breaks and just continue warranting it out. But you know, if you want a semi-decent brand, get a Taiwan one. If you want a tool truck brand, there's options there. And if you don't want to spend the money on it, check out eBay. Check out used ratchets. Okay, pick up a used ratchet handle. I mean, I've seen them go for like 80 bucks for some of these flex heads or whatever, and buy you a rebuild kit, or try to warranty it out for a rebuild kit, and they'll do that. So there's no issues with that as well too. So if you get a rebuild kit on a ratchet, you know, you may be only spending 100 bucks on a good quality ratchet that's going to last you for the next few years or whatever. And do the service on them. Make sure they're oiled and greased properly or whatever, and that way they'll perform and you continue performing. And if you don't want to go that route and you just want to order one off of Amazon, you can get something like this. And if you want to go to the local Harbor Freight, pick you up an Icon ratchet, or pick you up a Pittsburgh ratchet or whatever. They got full lifetime warranty. Okay, so y'all take care.